Hey everyone, and welcome back to the weird part of YouTube, and I'm back again with another video. So this video is gonna be about tips for traveling for F1 students, or if you're traveling to the US as an F1 student, which is essentially, whoever you're doing your master's or your bachelor's or just doctorate, and if you're coming in for the first time to the US to pursue your education. These are some of the tips that I find very useful. I've been a student myself here a few years ago. Then I got my F1 visa. I was on OPT, CPT, and then obviously I got my H1. So I've traveled through the whole paradigm, and I know the whole struggle and everything. So I just want to share some stuff, some insights to the student life for all the people coming here in the fall batch. I've seen so many videos over there. I don't know, for the first time they're coming, so a lot of people are anxious, and even given Indian students who are coming here for the first time, I guess you guys are traveling alone because of the whole travel ban and everything, so I thought this video will be useful. So with that, let's get to the video. So the first tip I have is regarding your bags. Essentially, a lot of airlines right now, because of this whole pandemic, stuff, they're allowing only one checked-in bag. Some airlines allow two. Back when I traveled, they allowed 3, but obviously I couldn't have that many bags. I didn't have so many bags, but essentially for traveling for the first time, they allowed 3. So do check in with your airline that you are an F1 student and you have some, and you're traveling for the first time to the country. They might allow just 2, so do check in with your airline just before you travel. Sometimes they allow 2. Just call them up and everything. Else, it's just 1 regardless. With that, because we have only 1 bag, carry minimal stuff. Like a lot of people carry so much food. Obviously with the US customs, food is definitely not allowed. If your food is not sealed, it's definitely going to get thrown away. There are actually dogs in the airport, and every time I travel from India, or there's an Indian flight next to when I travel from UAE, there's always dogs over there, and they just sniff around your bags. And if there's food which is not sealed, or like mangoes or something like that, it's definitely going to get thrown away. So don't take the risk of actually bringing in food. It's very, very disheartening to see a lot of Indian passengers come in and all this food is just getting thrown away. So just don't bring any food. There's a lot of videos that I've seen, so I'm just going to post the link down below that I've seen, and essentially hopefully you make the right judgment not to bring that. The second thing is bring very minimal utensils. So when I traveled, it's like an Indian tradition. A lot of people bring pressure cookers and all that stuff. I didn't have space in my luggage to actually do so, and I'm glad I didn't bring it, because when you're sharing with a lot of people, what happens is your utensils are definitely going to get stolen. There's plenty of dresses, plenty of plates that I own got stolen, and just don't bring those stuff. It's very disheartening to see your items getting stolen. So definitely don't bring too many utensils and stuff. Just bring maybe a 1 plate or something, or your favorite bowl if you can't live without them, but definitely don't bring too many utensils as well. The third thing, what not to carry in your bags, is definitely a lot of dresses. So study where you are planning to go. So I lived in California the whole time. I lived in the Bay Area as a student. So a lot of people said it's not very cold and all that stuff. And the year I came, it was extremely cold. It was so cold. So definitely carry a really, really good jacket. Not like the plain hoodie types and everything. So definitely ensure you carry nice woolen clothes, because US is a cold country. So essentially in fall it becomes really, really cold. A lot of student areas, like apartments, because of electricity bill and all that, they don't turn on the heaters, and without heaters, just sleeping in, it's really, really difficult. And just layering and all that stuff becomes difficult. So definitely carry some warm items, like your jacket, your woolen clothes, a lot of leggings. Layering really helps, but essentially make sure you have 1 good jacket here. If you don't, let's just say if you don't have anything, don't worry about it. There's a lot of sale that comes in here just before the winter sale, and even after the winter sale. you find clearance items and everything for very, very cheap. It's definitely affordable. You'll find a really good jacket under $20. There's a lot of discount stores like Ross and everything, so you can definitely shop there if you don't have the luxury of purchasing good warm clothes. So with that is the baggage done. Hopefully you don't take all that stuff. The second thing is for students, essentially, is that when you come here for your fall, semester, one thing that you really, really need to focus is that, which you guys are at an advantage versus the spring people, is that internships. So internships is really, really important, and only with internships you actually get into jobs and all the other things, like opportunities come in really quickly. So as a student, it's your first thing in to come to the US. Ensure that you actually sign up for career fairs. If you belong to a particular school, let's say if you're in New York, you go to SUNY. If you're in California, you go to another school. Feel free to go to other colleges or other universities' career fairs. It's definitely open for everybody. No, there isn't like, this school people can't come in. So definitely use that to your advantage. Sign up for all these newsletters for, your careers and stuff. Go to each career page of different companies that you want to apply in, and just apply. Just read the description. I'll put another video on this definitely if you find that useful, but the one thing that you must focus on is to find an internship by December or maximum by January, February. After that, the job opportunities kind of cool down, and getting an internship is really, really hard. So once you get a good internship, it cements your possibility of getting a really good job, because no matter how many years of experience you have in the place, or if you don't really have an experience, it doesn't really matter till you have your internship. So essentially, very, very focus on all those things. So internships are very important. I'm going to make another video on this, so just let me know down in the comments if you want me to do that. So the third thing again is gonna be about SSN. So SSN is something very important, because a lot of people, when you first come into the country, it essentially identifies as a tax-paying citizen, or not a citizen, but a resident of that place. So essentially, with SSN, you are able to get into a lot of these, campus jobs and everything, versus you not having it. So essentially, another thing regarding jobs is to ensure that you get into campus jobs, like for example, grader with your professor, a research assistant, just campus jobs around. Like there's like a lot of reception jobs, food court assistants, like lots of jobs. Just apply for it, so that the moment you apply, you get your SSN. And that essentially is very important. A lot of times people have told me this, that the SSN that you get from your school is very important. It actually ensures that you are you came here as a student versus H1B. I don't think there's much of a difference, but ensure that you have your SSN. As just try to apply for campus jobs, and obviously it helps with some sort of money over the whole course of the masters or whatever you're enrolled in. The fourth thing that I want to specify is that if you have an opportunity to stay in the dormitory or hostel, do so. But if it's extremely expensive, just share it with a lot of people. A lot of people are signed up for lease. Lease are just for 1 year. Sometimes you get it for 18 months or 2 years, depending on that. But if you sign a lease, you're locked in the system, and if you don't get along with your roommates, it's very, very hard to get out of, unless you find someone to replace, and it goes into all that stuff. There's fines and everything. One more thing that you need to keep in mind is that once you pay the security deposit, no matter how clean you keep the place, no matter what all you do, you're never going to get it back. So just keep that in mind, unless your landlord is very nice. So with that, just expect all that stuff. Expect late night fights. There's been many times where I was threatened to get kicked out of my apartment. I shared with a lot of people, and I moved 10 apartments in a year, in a matter of 2 semesters. So you can pretty much imagine I've been traveling a lot within just like looking for rooms and stuff. So it's very, very difficult. Obviously, there's a Facebook page, there's lots of groups and stuff, but just that's a reason why you need to keep your stuff at a minimal, so that in case something bad happens, in case you don't get along with your roommates, or in case you want to change or something, you are at a disposable to do so. So keep that in mind, that no matter how friendly people are, things can always go bad. So ensure that. The fourth thing I want to essentially specifies that if you don't know how to drive, learn how to drive during this your masters and stuff, or try to get a DMV license as soon as possible. The reason being is that your DMV is your ID, so wherever you go, you need to show some proof of ID, to bars or something. I don't drink, so I've never been to a bar, but essentially anytime you go to a bank or something, they ask for ID proof. So essentially you can't keep carrying around your passport and a passport with Visa and stamped on it. That's essentially your first ID. So essentially, if you're opening a bank account, you have to bring that in. But over time it get very, very taxing, and you might have this fear of losing it and stuff. So essentially just try to get at least a state ID, and then learn driving, and then get your license. Driving here in the US is very, very, very easy. It's very easy to get a license if you know the basics. Just try to get, if you don't know driving, just ask your friend, learn through all these YouTube tutorials, just get a basic understanding, or go through a school and just get used to it. Even when you're applying for internship, your ID is used as an identification for your I-9 and everything. So very, very important. And the earlier you get, it's easier to renew and everything over time. So do that. So with that, this is all the tips I've had for now. I'm going to make plenty of videos on this as well if you like it. So hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and do let me know what all topics you want me to cover. So with that, I'll see you later in another video. Bye.